Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of 10 on the 10th card collab, hosted by Kim, who is MetalScrappinChick here on YouTube. And the purpose of the collab is to get started on those Christmas cards. And we are to create at least 10 Christmas cards each month, and we post the 10th of every month. And then this way, we'll have all of our Christmas cards done before December. So I joined in on this collab because wanted to get a jump on it. Also, I wanted to make a ton of extra cards that I could sell if anybody wanted to buy them. So this gives me that buffer of having all these extra cards on hand. So let me show you the products that I used for today's cards. So of course I used the Sheetload of Cards sketch, and I'm using March sketch from Alicia, who is Call Me Crafty Al here on YouTube. And I really like this sketch this month. I don't know, something about the sketch. I really, really like how she set this one up. And of course, she gives you all the dimensions. This will yield 9 cards for the month of March. But I did make 12, only because I cut my paper a little bit differently than what she gave directions for, just so that I could utilize my paper a little bit better. And you'll see why. And of course, on the back is all the measurements for each of the pieces of paper. And yeah, so I really, really like how this sketch has been set up this month. And if you visit her, she can tell you how you can get a copy of the sheet load by being a excuse me, by being a subscriber. So go ahead and check her out. I will leave a link to her YouTube in the description box below. Okay, so this month I decided to go a little bit differently with my cards. I had been using a paper pad by Martha Stewart, so I went back to this paper pad, which came from Michael's, which is by Craftsmith, which is Safe Freeze. And I used this last year in a collaboration that was hosted by Beth, who is Bourbon Creek Crafts here on YouTube. And it was a Christmas collaboration. It was a 4-week Christmas collaboration, and we had to use the same paper pad to make projects once a week. And then we posted, I believe it was every Sunday. So I went back to this pad to use some of this up, and these were the sheets that I used, which are really pretty. This little poinsettia. Then I have this plaid, buffalo plaid, this one with sweaters, and then of course the candy canes, and then the Christmas ornaments. And I think those are the only ones. I cut these ones, but I didn't make the cards for these ones just yet. But I did use these on the cards that I'm going to show you. And then I also used from Michael's, which is from Craftsmith, this holiday shimmer paper. I used a sheet of the red shimmer paper. And I want to apologize for the lighting because this morning it is really dark and gloomy outside, even though it's already 8:15. It's raining, so my lighting is a little off this morning. And apparently so is my voice. And then I also used some lace from my stash, this really pretty crocheted white lace. I used these Nuvo crystal drops in Simply White. I really like those. And then the stamp sets I used all came from Michael's. I believe, I don't know if I got them last year or the year before, so I know they're not available anymore. But these are the stamp sets that I used. I used Peace, Joy, and Love. I used Naughty and Nice. I used Peace and Joy, Home for Christmas, Christmas Blessings, and the Noel. So those are the stamp sets I used. And then, of course, I used some foam tape, Memento ink, and then, of course, some cardstock. So let me show you the cards I created. And I created 12 cards. Even though the sheet said 9, I did 12. So here are my cards. And you can see the stripe that was on the instructions went one way, but I kind of took a page from Alicia and I tipped the stripe to go the opposite way on 4 of the cards just to see how they looked. So all my cards have this same plaid on the bottom, only because the pattern paper on the top was busier paper. I wanted something that was more solid on the bottom, and I didn't really have too many sheets left in that pad that had the solid on the bottom. So all my cards have this on there, and then of course I used the shimmer paper for the strip, and then the backing of the sentiment. And then I also used some craft colored cardstock to mat everything because I didn't like the really thick border that I had of the white. So I needed something to break that up. Because of the way that you cut the paper, it left really like almost 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And I prefer a 1/16 of an inch. But I didn't want to cut my paper bigger because then I would have used more of the paper, and I wanted to keep the measurements of the paper the same so I could cut my paper and utilize it a little bit better. And then of course the strip across here, she had pattern paper, but I decided to use the lace as the strip on my cards. And I think they turned out absolutely great. And then, of course, the Nuvo drops, I put some droplets in the corner of each of the cards. So I made 2 of each cards with the sentiment, but I made 4 of each of the pattern papers. So I have 2 of them that say Home for Christmas. And then this is the candy cane one, and I have 2 of them that say Noel. And then, of course, here's the other 2 candy cane, and these say Naughty or Nice. And then the Christmas ornaments, Peace and Joy. And then the other 2 ornament cards, Peace, Joy, and Love. And the other 2 with the sweaters and the stockings and the mittens says Christmas Blessings. So these are my cards for this edition of 10 on the 10th. And like I said, I made 12. The instructions were to make 9, but I wanted to keep it at least 12 every week. So that way I really have a good jump on all my cards. So I want to thank you for stopping, subscribing. Please leave any comments down below, any questions down below. I will have the links to all the collaborators in the description box as well. And if you are not a subscriber to everybody, please subscribe. There is a group of talented ladies in this collab. And yeah, so Like I said, thank you for joining me. Thank you for subscribing. Also tap on that bell and you'll know the next time I upload another edition of 10 on the 10th. And I want to thank you for stopping and being a subscriber. And I appreciate everybody that does leave comments on my videos. I really appreciate it more than you know. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.